Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we're back, man. Episode 400.
YG 400.
It's a lot of fucking episodes, man.
Yeah, man.
So all of you guys who've been around since episode 1, you got a treat for the day. You got another podcast. Earlier, I released, an individual podcast just to give you guys some content until we got back together. But Keith was on a vacation. So, we weren't able to get together at that moment, but we're back. Okay. All right. Let's get right into it with the first freaking topic. Recently, an interviewer asked LaRussell a random sex question in the middle of an interview. It seemed kind of off color, but we'll go ahead and let you guys hear what they said here.
Favorite sex position?
Oh my God.
Don't get shy on me now, LaRussell.
I just feel like there's more fruitful questions that could be asked to me.
Dang.
When you have somebody of a certain intellect and knowledge and achievement, it's like you could really get game, and asking them how they like to fuck is just like, it's a waste of a question.
Sometimes I really just be wanting to know motherfuckers' favorite position.
Why though? Or am I gonna say it and you like fuck me like that right now?
No.
Exactly.
No, I think
if I went to your house and met your parents and I'm talking to your dad and I'm like, hey, what's your favorite sex position? You'd be like, what's up with you, right?
Yeah.
I'm no different. It's like, why?
Someone get my back on this?
No, they don't have your back. They're like, nigga, we feel the same way.
Okay.
They don't want to know my favorite sex position. When the last time you sucked dick? That's like shit. Like, you feel me? It's like, why?
This is a terrible segue, but what do you want your legacy to be? I know.
You're here live with LaRussell from the Yay area. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Shirley's Temple, where we talk about sex, and sex, and more sex. And we ask innovative artists what they like about sex and how much sex they can have and just sexing it up. You know, if you want to know about some sex, come on down to Shirley's Temple, where we're fucking in that temple. That's the only temple you can walk into, and we fucking. It's just sex in there. Shirley's Sex Temple. Come on down to Shirley's Sex Temple.
Favorite sex?
All right. What you take from that is I think that a lot of interviewers are getting caught up in, asking some of the smuttiest questions. And for artists like LaRussell, it doesn't make sense. Now, you got to read the room a little bit. I think if you got an artist like maybe a YG or something, and you like, so YG, what's your favorite position? He'd be like, shit, I like fuck from the bag, right? You might get that question, you might get that answer out of a guy like that. That's no slight to YG, but I think that, his not only his performances, but his music reflects that. Like a guy like LaRussell is not an overly sexual person. He just makes content and music. Like the guy doesn't even comb his hair, for Christ's sake. You asking him about sex? That doesn't even make any sense. So I think that as interviewers, we have to do a better job of reading the person's behavior. Also, too, as a man, I would never feel comfortable asking a woman that question. Like, she'd be like, yeah, I got this new album coming out. So, how you like to get fucked for real? How do you like? I could not do it. I don't have an interest in your sex life simply because I'm not having sex with you. But, yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are. And that's like asking Keith or somebody. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that he explained it very well. He said, I'm an innovative artist. Why are you asking? There ain't no better questions that you can ask. Anytime that LaRussell goes on any of these interviews, a lot of time it's not really about personal life. It's really about same thing with a guy like Russ. It's always about, you are super innovative. What are you doing to reach these audiences? How are you on an independent level able to do this, or able to get this feature or whatever? And he's always the person that you gonna have a million different clips that you can post from his interviews just because he's giving so much game. But yeah, to ask him that kind of question, that those questions are reserved for specific podcasts with lip service, places like that where you're going to go on those podcasts.
Right.
And it's designed to talk about sex or horrible decisions. I think didn't they change the name of their podcast now?
Yes, it's called Decisions.
Decisions, but you know how it goes. But yeah, those type of podcasts, you kind of what you getting into. But her, like, specifically, that's not really the space to do that, or the person to have that conversation with. So
also too, when you set the expectations on your platform, like if you have a sex honestly, I think that both parties need to read the room. If you're an artist who is innovative and you're going on to a sex platform, be prepared to answer sex questions. Mm-hmm. Right? And if you're a person that is a sex platform and you have an innovative artist, do you stick to the sexual shit, or do you just like literally have a cross the table conversation that's like sexless? Mm-hmm. Right? I just think that both parties got to read the room. Out of all the interviews that we've done here, I don't think we've never. Well, first of all, we've had all dudes on. Only one has been. Well, no, that's not true. We had.
We have had women on here.
We've had women on here. My sister being one, and then way back in the day, I forgot her name. It's been so long. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. But we had her and her sister on.
Tyra.
Yeah, Tyra and her sister had came on. Mm-hmm. That was a great conversation. Her sister's very smart. Mm-hmm. I forgot her name. Dang it. But anyways, you guys will find it. But it never crossed my mind to ask either one of them or make any sexual innuendos.
Yeah.
It would have ruined the platform. They would have probably walked off. What do you mean by back shots? It was like,
we would have got canceled.
We would have got canceled for sure. We were having a deep intellectual conversation.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know we talking about Egypt and all of that, but what do y'all think about back shots? Like lube or no lube? What we talking? Like, cause like for real, like on some lube type shit, like it seemed like that would be fire. Like nah, come on, man. Yeah. That would really make our listeners look at us weird too. Yeah. If we get women on here and we can't conduct ourselves in a little basic, podcast conversation. But anyways, I just think it was a little off color. We also mentioned before the pod, we was talking about like if we could imagine if somebody was like ask Nipsey or somebody a question like that. Mm-hmm. Nipsey will find a way to like philosophically flip it on them. Mm-hmm. It'd be like, so what's my favorite position? Like my favorite position in life is CEO. Like I'm trying to run the country. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, I was speaking more in the vein of sex, Nipsey. I know what you're saying, but I'm from 6-0. We don't talk about sex in the street. We don't talk about that. We leave that up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, I got some hard copies coming out. Come proud to pay, get in line. And, from there, we could do our thing. And then maybe later we could have sex. But right now, we talking about the business. Yeah, man. That's funny. R.I.P. Nipsey, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's switch gears. All right, switching gears. GameStop. GameStop has got this Trade Anything Day. It's set for December 6th. What to know about the holiday deal unlike any other? That's really kind of sad what they're doing here. Let me get the article here. GameStop Trade Anything Day set for December 6th. It sounds like an April Fool's Day joke. Guess again. GameStop, the video game retail giant, is hosting a Trade Anything Day on Saturday, December 6th, where people can bring in almost anything, trade in for store credit. There are a few ground rules. However, for one, the company says the limit must fit in a 20 by 20 by 20 box. So if we're hoping to trade in your retro Sony CRTV from the 90s, you're out of luck. Although you may find another customer willing to buy it. GameStop also says you can only receive store credit on one traded item. It's not yet clear how approximate trade value of each item will be determined, but consider us intrigued and willing to give you just about anything. That is crazy. Yeah, that is insane. Mm-hmm. First of all, I don't think it's okay, simply because I need to know the metric. Like, what are the metrics behind you determining the value? Mm-hmm. If I bring in something that is like legitimately worth value, let's say I have an unopened Dreamcast, from the original, just from the original release of the Dreamcast that is unopened, mm-hmm. and it comes with 2 controllers. How are you gonna value that? Like, how are you gonna value something like that? That's a time capsule.
Yeah.
Dreamcast had its time. Like there are certain video games. I think it was Marvel versus Capcom that even to this day is expensive for Dreamcast. And Dreamcast doesn't even, I think that game is like $75 or something like that. So it's like, bro, how are you going to value something that's almost invaluable? And you're going to give me store credit when in actuality, it just benefits the store. You're not physically giving any money.
Right. Yeah. It's there's another store back in the day. I wish I remember what store it was, but they were like that. There were a store that would return anything. Like that was part of their marketing scheme. Like they don't even sell tires, but if you come in there with a tire, they'll give you some type of return on it, or take it, accept it. So GameStop has been kind of falling for years now.
Yeah.
Just because of the way that the world has shifted. You know, you can buy games on Amazon. A lot of these games are digital now. You know, people are, if you do purchase like a PlayStation 5, you probably, you know, you might be getting it shipped to your house. So it's not really the idea of going to the game store like me and Eddie used to back in the day to go look around for the new Madden or whatever like that. Those days are no longer. That's not what the majority of people do. So they're just looking for stuff to try to be innovative and to try to get some people to go into their store. And I think it kind of sounds crazier than it is, knowing that they're only going to accept one item.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that's really doing nothing. You know, I think people are going to, you know, take in whatever. But honestly, if you're smart, you're probably not taking it to GameStop unless GameStop can give you more bang for your buck than any other platform, right? Because if I have like a Dreamcast or whatever, or I have my old Nintendo 64 from when I was a kid, and I just want to get rid of it to save some money, or I'm trying to buy a wedding ring, or I'm trying to pay down payment on a house or a car or something like that, I'm probably going to the place that's going to offer me the most money, which is probably going to be like an eBay type situation. So that's probably where I would go if I was a person. And then I would just see what the rates are going for and what other items have sold recently. And there's no hassle. You just, the customer pays for it. eBay sends you your money and then you ship it off the next day or whenever you get a chance. And then you probably get more money for that and physical money versus store credit at GameStop.
I don't like that there's no transparency. The issue ultimately is this. They can have, I think on their website, they should literally have people who make submissions and they have like a SKU number of the item or whatever, or like a relatable link. And GameStop should be able to give you the value of what you would get online. There should be almost like a spreadsheet of, you know, what value you would get for each item, so it could set the expectations when you go into the place. But instead of that, they say we don't want to know nothing. It's weird because
I think that's on the customer though. I mean, I don't think that's GameStop's job to do that.
No, I know, but all I'm saying is they're determining the value of your item, but the thing that I don't like is they're not setting any expectations. They're not even giving the customer a chance to know what they get before going in. They're gonna create a freaking. It's gonna be havoc. That's
what I'm saying though. It's like, say for example, I got a box of Jordans. Like these is some not like crazy Jordans. These Jordans I have, they're worn, whatever. They're probably, I probably bought them for $150 10 years ago or something. If I go in there, I think it's up to the person taking the game into the store or the shoebox into the store to know that these sell for $230 on eBay. I'm seeing other people on Amazon is buying used Jordans for $230 on StockX. They going for X amount of price. I think it's up to the customer to go in there, because if I'm GameStop, I'm not. The goal for me is not to give. There's like a negotiation thing that's going on. So they're not trying to give out $1,000 every time somebody come in the store. Yeah, they're trying to lowball you.
Yeah. So basically, the business model is to lack the transparency. So the ball's in my court. It's no different than when like artists get music deals or NBA contracts. That they try to leave things they either put a bunch of hogwash that's almost in like a filibuster style contract.
Yeah.
So you don't really see it, just so they could kind of like not have the transparency. So you know they don't want to tell you in layman's terms what it is. You know, so that's not it. I think people finna be bringing dildos and sex toys and shit too. I think you've allowed people to really like create a gag gift to bring there. Can you imagine a motherfucker working at GameStop and they're scanning the dildo? Like, okay, this is 2017. All right, 2017 BBC. We can only give you $3.75. Like, oh my God.
I don't know. I don't go to. I haven't been to GameStop in ages, and I don't really plan on going there. But the only way that this would be valuable is, say I got something that's just sitting around my house that I don't even want, and I know it has some value to it. And I just want to get a Nintendo DS or something like that. And I got something that's valued at, $100 or something. If I go and then with their store credit, because generally with store credit, in some cases, like at those places, what they would do is they'd be like, all right, we can give you $10 in cash, but we could give you like 15 or 20 in store credit.
Yeah.
They used to do that back in the day. And generally it was more valuable to buy the store credit or get the store credit if you were already going to purchase something else from there, because you could save money that way. So if they do it like that, like say I take the Jordans in there and they worth $150, but they're like, all right, so we'll give you $200 in store credit. One, that ensures that you're going to shop there. And then it also ensures that you're going to spend more money there because they know that whatever you're probably going to buy is not worth the $200. You probably, if you're buying like a PlayStation 5 or something like that, you're going to have to spend a little bit of extra money. Yeah. So it's not the greatest business model. I was telling Eddie a while back that Joe Budden has this thing, the segment that I'm super jealous of, because they do a thing called like Fix My Business. And then they talk about GameStop or like different restaurants that like, they just kind of throw ideas around and figure out like how they could save businesses that are failing and things like that. And I think this is one of those conversations that they would probably have. And I don't really know if there's a way to save a GameStop because, like I said before, we got Amazon, we got Walmart online, shopping and stuff like that. I think they have strong branding. Like GameStop is still a strong name. Yeah. But in terms of selling games, I don't think that's not the first thing we think of when we're thinking about buying a game. Like you have PlayStation Network. Like most of these purchases are digital now.
I could tell you like the peak experience from GameStop for me was when you went into the store and they had physical systems sitting there for you to sample the games before you bought them.
Right.
That was number one. They had like a TV. They had like 2 controllers. Like another customer come in, you could be playing against them and shit. Yeah. That was peak GameStop.
Yeah, they had that in Walmart
and they literally had. Do you remember the video game network where they had like it was a bunch of shows that were running in the background? And they would have TVs inside of GameStop, and they'd be like, "Welcome to the IGN network, so and so, blah blah blah." And it'd be like a dude talking, and he would be showing. They would like literally be giving reviews of all the games and shit. They took all the screens out of the place now. There's no screens playing any video game networks anymore. So it's like they've only reduced. I think that now, in order to modernize gaming, you have to look at where it's at and try to implement that into GameStop. So first of all, they might have to downsize the amount of GameStops, but they need to get a bigger space. And in that bigger space, they should make it more interactive, where bring the screens back.
Bring the social aspect.
Bring the social aspect back.
Yeah.
You don't want to pander to what's happening now simply because, now you're selling digital copies online instead of physical. I go in and get physical copies because if I'm going to spend all that money on a video game, I want to have it physically on hand. But yeah, they need to get like bigger spaces, put the systems back out on display, let people play, and then also what's another one? I think they should have contests there, like some of the best I think in each region of each
tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, they need to have tournaments. They literally need to have the best players in Bakersfield or in whatever, and in that GameStop, you let them go head to head or something. Like they need to bring that aspect of interactive gaming back into GameStop, or they're just everything's gonna die, and it sucks. You know, because as me, I'm like an old young guy. So when I was coming up, everything was interactive. We literally had arcades, man. Remember Jimmy's Arcade?
Jimmy's Arcade?
Jimmy's Arcade. It was a nickel arcade right there on Ming.
Yeah,
right there
arcade.
by.
Yeah. I didn't know it was called Jimmy's. I do remember the nickel arcade, though.
Oh yeah, it was Jimmy's Arcade there, man.
Yeah,
and there was a arcade in the mall back in the day called the Tilt, and it was super dope. It was huge. It was a bunch of video games and shit. And then that era of gaming is dead, and it has not been replaced since. Now it's just some fucking 12th some 8th grader online talking shit to you on the game.
I think that I just came from, OG Bakersfield people. It's not called Camelot Park anymore, but Camelot Park for us. I just came from there, and it is different. Obviously we used to go as like kids back in the early 2000s and stuff, but it's that now they have cards and like everything is digital. Like they don't spit out you remember you used to like play the game and then they used to just spit out the tickets. Yeah. They don't do that anymore. They just kind of add them onto your card. Uh-huh. So it's a very different experience, but I think people were kind of excited to play the games. So I say that to say that, it might be a space to bring something like that back. Bring back it wouldn't be the nickel arcade just because that doesn't work anymore. And I would say too, I think we have to.
Chuck E. Cheese still do that, don't they, with the ticket shit?
I don't know about physical. I'm sure they got cards and stuff. But yeah, all these places, there's still arcades out there that kids like to go play at.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fire to bring something like that back, like throwing some vintage games like, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat or whatever the modern version of those are, games. I think that would be fire.
Honestly, it's going to attract everybody our age. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of millennials are going to be. You're going to see a lot of motherfuckers with balding hairlines. Yeah. They're going to be in there playing.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are just going to be online.
Yeah.
Doing that. Mm-hmm. But,
you throw some food in there and you have to make it a little bit more than what it was back in the day.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you just throw some different stuff in there.
Yeah, that's why they have to get a bigger space. I feel like if GameStop wants to survive, being in a little cooped up space where you sell like just the same bullshit and you've only reduced shit from the store, so get a bigger space, dude. It could be the size of maybe a Blockbuster from back in the day.
That's what GameStop got to do. Mm-hmm. They got to turn it into an arcade.
Yep.
And then sell games on the side, or you could probably sell games in the front of your store or whatever, in a little area.
Yeah.
But turn the rest of it into like an actual GameStop, like a place where you stop and play games.
I would consider that modern nostalgia.
Right.
I think that you could use the same modern model, but add actual nostalgia to it to where it's interactive and it's inclusive to all the kids. Like it has their favorite games.
Yeah.
I think to keep it 100, you know what could really save GameStop is if you start having like legit fucking Guitar Hero tournaments.
You got that, but there's a lot of there's this book called I think it's called Hitmakers or something like that, and they actually do research, and the author did some research on like what makes things popular, what makes things a hit. We're talking about the biggest things in the world, whether it's like Thriller or Star Wars or Jaws or just the biggest epic things that happened in modern society, I guess you would say. And one of those things that they talked about in the book is like, you can't make something that's like completely far left that it's just so new. Like there needs to be like remnants of stuff that we are familiar with. And then you sprinkle some newness on top of that. So to go with what you're saying, like even we look at the show Stranger Things, right? That's
Yes.
the biggest thing smoking. That show
Based in the 80s.
is based in the 80s.
Absolutely.
So when you look at the show, you got 7-Eleven in there. You
Yes.
got Adidas in there. You
Yes.
got just different music from back in the 80s.
And those songs went crazy.
And those songs, yeah, exactly.
They
those
went back
songs
on the chart. They charted.
Yeah, they're reviving a lot of those songs, a lot of that.
Yeah.
I got a jacket. They had Target. You had a partnership with Target where they released like some what do you call it? Some clothes.
Yeah.
So I bought a jacket. It's like a kind of like a Letterman jacket kind of thing from back in the day, like a vintage kind of look to it. And then I bought a Gatorade hat. So it has like Stranger Things on there, but it has a Gatorade Quench Your Thirst on the front.
Oh, shit.
It's like a corduroy hat. So those are like, and it's straight 80s like attire, you know, but it's really, you know, it's coming back around because of the show and how innovative it was. So I say that to say, if GameStop did that, or if, you know, they gotta do like a Red Lobster.
Ooh, absolutely.
They gotta hire a young black, you know, CEO, somebody that's in their 30s that grew up going to GameStop, and he just need to bring some innovative energy to it.
Well, I mean, they happen to get a young black man for Red Lobster. They technically don't need that with GameStop. You just need a young nerd. You need a guy that knows the genres of the games, and can like bridge the gap between younger gamers, older gamers,
right,
and have them in the same space. So that's the thing about video games, man. Like, I know you've got people that haven't played video games since fucking what was the first one? Jesus, Pong.
Yeah.
What was the system back then?
Atari.
That was like the first. They were mesmerized by it. They were like, "Oh my god, look at the graphics!" It was a fucking stick figure.
Right.
He looks so real.
No shit. You stupid.
I grew up playing games like Star Fox on Super Nintendo, and I was like, "Fuck, this looks like so futuristic." And then you go back.
That's why Super Smash Bros is so like popular, because they just took all the famous characters and then just kind of put them in
there
in one game and let them fight.
Let me tell you something here. Okay, I think me and Keith need to work for like Nintendo. Like, I think that GameStop, before they just give away their business as well too, they need to just like give us a shot to try to revive their company before they quit.
I ain't gonna front.
I would
like,
totally do that job.
Yeah, we be having like $1 million ideas on the pod. Sometimes I sit at home and I be like, bro, I'm currently a teacher, but I'd be like, yo, I got great ideas.
Absolutely.
And I just need somebody that got the belief in me and or the resources to just put the bread behind whatever I got going on, and then just, you know, give it that push.
Absolutely. You know what, though? I think the issue ultimately is there are some people that are at the top of companies that are aged out of what's happening.
It's too old.
They're just too old. They're coming up with this bullshit, and the thing is, there's too many yes men within these companies that just want to keep their job, and no one's challenging their ideas. Just like this country. Like, as far as presidents are concerned, we shouldn't have no fucking almost 80-year-old. We shouldn't have Biden or Trump. We should have a motherfucker that's like 37 be the president. We should have somebody that's like 42, 38, right in that age gap. Like, these are the people that are on the ground that know what's happening in America now. We got some old motherfuckers that they existed in a completely different time. How are you going to govern everybody when you are literally when you got sick as a kid, they used to give you a shot of whiskey. Why the fuck are you running this country for?
You was teasing. They gave you some Hennessy.
Yeah, they gave you some. Actually, it was funny as last night, my cousin, he brought his kid down, and his kid had a toothache. And one of the girls there was like, he got a toothache? And then he's like, anybody got some oral gel? And they were like, nah. So she went in there and she grabbed what do you call those things? Ear swab. She took an ear swab and stuck it into the Crown Royal and then put it on the baby's tooth.
Yeah, we got to stop doing that.
I mean, but the baby, his son was just like, it's not as bad, you know.
Yeah, because he was faded.
Yeah,
in there twisted.
Yeah, and then before she handed the ear swab to my cousin, he was like, "What's this, Orgel?" And she's like, "Oh no, it's the Crown Royal." And he was like, okay, it's Oradell. Here. Put this on.
That was funny.
Shout out my cousin. Shout out
that's
to my cousin Eric, man.
That's a remedy for sure. They rub the alcohol on their gums and stuff like
I think about when I was a little kid and I would like see my dad drinking beers with his friends or something. And he'd be like, Eddie, bring me a beer. And I'd bring him his beer. And he'd be like, you want to drink it? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, go ahead. And then I started drinking and I was like, ah. And then all his friends started laughing.
Yeah.
God, that was bad parenting.
Yeah, for sure.
That was some bad
Don't
parenting.
give your kids alcohol, man.
Yeah, man. Because here's the thing. Like me, obviously, I don't hardly ever drink. I had a beer yesterday, but I don't hardly drink at all. But can you imagine if he's like, oh, go ahead, take a drink. And I'm like, he's like, you like that? I'm like, yeah, Dad, I like it.
Try to ruin your life.
Oh, man, I'd have been a drunk from a little kid.
Yeah, you 12 years old getting twisted.
Yeah, my dad get home from work. Where the fuck is all my beers at? What the fuck is going on here?
Hey, Dad, you want a beer? You just in there
man.
knocking them back, shotgunning beers at 12.
It'd be 2 in the morning, you hear the refrigerator open up. Oh, man. I knew some kids in high school. I knew some kids that was already alcoholics in high school, dude.
Yeah, man.
It was a dude in my class that was literally, he would have a bottle of water, but it wasn't water. It was actually tequila.
Yeah.
And he was drinking it during class. I remember one day we pulled a crazy prank on this dude. We knew he was like faded all the time, but the teacher never picked up on it. And I guess he had to go take a shit. So he went in the bathroom to take a shit, and I seen his feet. I was like, "Oh, that's him." And I had one of those. Remember those balloons that had a grenade pattern on it? And they used to expand, like it was like an army balloon.
Yeah.
Man, I filled that motherfucker up with water, and it was I made it so big that all the graphics that was on the balloon, they just spread out, right? And I took the army balloon full of water and I threw it in the stall over the top, and it landed on it. Went, push, you hear the water just, push. It's like, motherfucker, right? So I take off running, and I'm going to class, and it was me and 2 other dudes. We took off running, and then we go into class and we sit down. And then the guy I guess he didn't wipe his ass.
Oh, no.
Because he got right off the fucking toilet and he ran.
Yeah.
And then he was like, motherfuckers. And he walked into class and the teacher said, get out of my class. Go to the office right now.
Some teachers will not they don't care.
Shout out to Miss Shepard, man.
You come in their class cussing.
Because we came into class and it was what's weird about it is it was an asshole move by all of us. But we ran to the class and it's like we almost composed ourselves before we went inside and sat down. Like we ran, got to the door, and we slowed down and we walked in and we went to our seats like nothing. So he just looked crazy. By the time he came into the classroom, he was like, motherfuckers! He was wet. He got an unwiped ass and he was wet. That's not the first time I seen that happen. I had that one of my teammates, Greg Nolan. Shout out to Greg Nolan, man.
Yeah.
Greg Nolan was taking a shit in the field house one day, and who was it to do it? It wasn't Ryan. I think it was Zach. I think it was Zach Melton. Zach took one of those tubs. You know those they used to put like Powerade in those orange igloos, the big ones though. And I guess it was like half full and it had a bunch of cold ice in it, like ice water. And he pushed the tub over the top of the stall and poured it on it while he was taking his shit. And Greg was like, oh fuck, motherfucker. Oh! Came off, had a girdle on with an unwiped ass and was like, motherfucker, who fucking did that? And I was like, oh my God, dude. Good times. I think it's time to switch, man. But
I was gonna add, it's kind of like a tangent. I've been thinking about this for like a few weeks now. Say you're the coach of some high school football team or something like that, and you're also like a teacher at the school, and you on lunchtime, and this is like maybe like Valley Championship, second round of the playoffs. Like around that time of the football season, you, Mr. McGee, you go into the bathroom at thing. You got separate bathroom, but the bathrooms are next to each other. The staff bathroom and the kids' bathroom. And you go in the bathroom and you see a star quarterback in there smoking weed. And mind you, this is Thursday. We got a game on Friday. This is Thursday. What do? Do you get him in trouble, get him suspended, expelled, whatever, or do you have a one-on-one conversation with him and tell him just to, like, so I guess I'm essentially asking, are you saving your season because you need him to play tomorrow, or are you doing the traditionally, like, by the book thing and get him in trouble?
Man, that's a tough situation. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is like I'm not getting this secondhand. I'm getting it like up close. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, hey man, you know that you're not supposed to be doing this shit. I think that there's a chance to redeem that situation if I'm the only one that sees it. If there's no faculty there, no one else is there, you could redeem it. However, you would be going against your own morals and your own standard as a coach if you allowed that. Mm-hmm. If I set the standard at the very beginning, I would make sure that my backup is well equipped to take over in that situation. And I would have to call his parents and say, hey, look here. You know, we set the standard at the beginning of the season. I busted your son smoking weed. This is in-house. I have not referenced this to the athletic director or anyone yet, but eventually they'll have to be alerted to it. But, you know, he got busted smoking weed. You know, I mean, most coaches that see shit like that, they will want to keep it under wraps. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is sometimes your integrity and your self-respect stands in the way of you allowing that shit to happen.
Right.
Because it's like at some point, like you kind of got to respect yourself enough to stand on what you said. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's a tough fucking question. I think there's a lot of people that would just let him play.
Yeah, because your season is on the line. Yeah. And it's just something I be thinking about because I haven't been in that situation. And I coach track. But sometimes I haven't quite seen any athlete. But it be like situations like that where some of these kids are known or they have gotten suspended for doing certain things. And I feel like kids are always trying to get away with certain things. So I'm not looking for nothing, but I do be seeing certain situations where I'm like, dang, dog, like your friends are known to do certain things. So, you know, I just be keeping an eye on certain athletes and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully nobody ever had to go through that situation, especially in a sport like football or basketball or even baseball where you're so reliant on, you know, that star player to come through for your team. So
yeah. Dang. I kind of sidelined me with that one, Keith. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, switching gears. Lizzo says plus size women are being erased. Society must undo the effects of Ozempic boom, is what she said. All right, let me give you some context. Lizzo says plus size women are being erased. Society must undo effects of Ozempic boom. And it says, Lizzo is opening up about her weight loss journey as well as her concerns with the current state of weight loss culture. The singer, 37, explored her thoughts in a candid personal essay published on Substack on Sunday, November 23rd, titled, Why is Everybody Losing Weight? And What Do We Do? Sincerely, a person who's lost weight. And it says, in the piece, Lizzo, who shared that she currently weighs over 200 pounds and is still a proud big girl, says she feels though plus-size women are becoming erased in the age of weight loss drugs like Ozempic. So here we are halfway through the decade where extended sizes are being magically erased from websites. Plus-size models are no longer getting booked for modeling gigs, and all our big girls are not so big anymore. She reflected, adding, oh, Lord, come on, these fucking pop-ups. Adding, we have a lot of work to do to undo the effects of Ozempic boom. Okay, first of all, this is what I got to say to Lizzo. Lizzo, stop pandering to fat people. Okay, I got to be very blunt when I say that. I think that nobody grows up and says, you know what, I want to be fat when I grow up. Nobody fucking said that. Mm-hmm. And anybody who has struggled to lose weight and actually lost it, they're going to tell you how much better they felt when they did it. And that's not fat shaming. That is literal, the opposite of it. That is self-love. Mm-hmm. To get yourself in a place where you're feeling better. I think that Lizzo's starting to feel guilty because she actually bettered herself. Mm-hmm. Lizzo's a person that's never been ugly. She was just really overweight, and she lost a lot of weight, and she's physically attractive. I'm not saying she wasn't physically attractive then. There's some people that did like big women or whatever. All I'm saying is this. she's pandering. She needs to stop it. She needs to stop it. Like you don't need to pander just because you might see some people in the comment section saying like, what happened? She wasting away to nothing. There are some people who literally, misery loves company. And if people are not comfortable being themselves and they see you actually looking and doing better, they're gonna guilt trip you and make you feel like you have to pander to people. And I don't agree with that at all. At all. You have to undo the effects. First of all, there are a lot of people who are getting healthier. So everything is not Ozempic. There are some big people who are literally losing weight. It's not just Ozempic. They're literally taking their health into their own hands and they're losing weight because they want to. And I think there's also a lot of young people that are not drinking alcohol. There's also been studies showing a lot of more young people that are stopping drinking. So people are just being more health conscious. It's not all Ozempic. Okay? He said big girls are being erased. And it's like, if big people are being erased is a problem, like, really? Is it really a problem? Like, we need to get healthier. Also, too, healthcare is not free. So keep in mind, if everybody is morbidly obese, there's going to be a lot of illnesses, a lot of diabetes, a lot of all of these things. You want to mitigate those things as much as possible. And that's for everyone. That's for our parents, for our brothers, sisters, cousins, for all of them. You want everybody to be more health aware simply because you don't want to see them sick. Is there something wrong with that, Keith?
I don't think so.
Okay, so like, what the fuck is she talking about? That's my thing. Like, stop. Don't feel the need to pander just because you bettered yourself. I call that what do they call that? Survivor's guilt. It's not technically what her situation is, but at the same time, she has a guilt. I think she has like internal guilt because she's bettered herself. After Lizzo lost all that weight, she posted a picture like of her. I was like, damn. Like, Lizzo look good. I could objectively say that because there's nothing wrong with giving someone a compliment. Who was it that didn't want to receive compliments because they had body issues? Fuck, who was it? What's his name? Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah.
Jonah Hill's like
talking about, yeah.
He had like a form of body dysmorphia and said like,
Right.
when he lost all the weight, he said like, don't tell me that I look good because I don't want to be told that I look good because, you know, this. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. You look good, man. You lost the weight, you look great, and you look healthy. Okay? I don't know what happened. What trick did the internet play on people to make them feel bad about bettering themselves?
Right.
I've seen people that I used to work with, and I forgot who it was. There was this chick I used to work with, and back in the day, I think she kind of had like a drug issue. So like some of her teeth were like rotted out. This is way back. And she had like some weight on her, or she was like really skinny, and she had like really bad skin and stuff. And I seen her maybe like 9 years later, and she put a little weight on. She got her teeth done, and her skin was clear. And I said, "Oh wow!" I seen her in person. I said, "Oh wow!" And she looked at me. She was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh wow! I mean, you look amazing. You look great." She's like, "Thank you," right? But that came from a genuine place because I seen you when your teeth were rotted out and your skin was bad and you looked really skinny and didn't look healthy. But she put weight on and got her life together. I respect that.
Yeah.
At first, another thing too, when somebody's overweight, right? There'll be people cracking fat jokes and shit and all of that. But when those same people lose weight, the same people cracking jokes, they usually don't have any compliments to give them. Yeah, you love to shit on people when they was down, and now that they better themselves, you ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah. I think as far as what Lizzo is saying here, I don't know if she even knows what she's saying.
I don't think she does, man.
I don't think she has a real like a stance on the conversation. I think, like you said, I think she's a person that understood that she lost weight to help her mental health, and to obviously just become more physically healthy. And those things oftentimes go hand in hand. So I think that was like the reason why she started this journey.
Right.
But I think with this thing, it's a conversation that is probably better served to just be like left inside of your own thoughts.
Right.
You know, something you probably just talk to a therapist about, not really something that you're like really inquiring on the internet. But overall, like, it's a great thing that we are not seeing like bigger people anymore. It's a great thing that we don't have to make the plus size clothes anymore. I think body positivity is a thing that it should be. I think it's a thing that is
enhancing your body is body positivity.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I think body positivity is a thing where it's like anti like beating yourself up, if that makes sense. Like you're kind of like piling on to what's already there, right? If I'm 300 pounds and obviously I don't like the way that I look, not that I need to be like, not that you want to be okay with that weight, but it's more so a way of not living your life so that you're like, dang, I'm 300 pounds. Let me eat more because I'm so depressed. You know, it's just a way of looking at yourself and thinking positively, just being in a good mental space. That's what I think it's reserved for. Not necessarily to justify or to be okay with being unhealthy. I think that's kind of like my stance on it. But either way, I'm not in the business of saying that it's okay to be obese because, not in a negative way, but I'm just saying like literally it's not okay because your heart is working, 10 times harder.
Yep.
All the mental health aspects that go with that weight, not only the physical part, and all the chemical stuff that goes on with having all that weight on you, but also like image wise, when you look at yourself in the mirror every day, what that does to you, what the embarrassment does to you. Like I be seeing like young kids. I had a kid in my class and he's a big boy and he's like, I think he's a sophomore now. I think he's a freshman last year.
Wow.
He's a big boy. He probably over 300 pounds.
How tall do you think he is?
He might be like 5'9".
God damn.
Maybe 5'8", something like that. Not super tall, not super short. But he's just a big boy. And I remember he wrote on like a little note. We were just kind of like sharing things about our lives or like what they want the teachers to know. And one of the things that he was saying was like he was embarrassed to sit in front of the class because of like, it's like it ain't easy for him to maneuver around certain situations. And he feels like depending on where he's sitting in the class, like it's uncomfortable for him to get in and out of the desk and, things like that. So, or like if he got to move around people, like his stomach might knock somebody up, it might brush up against somebody.
And what's crazy about guys like him is the same guy like him by the age of 26 to 27, he'll be Grammy nominated or something. He got a perfect jawline, handsome guy, really good shape, works out 5-6 times a week. You would never know he was fat. Mm-hmm. And it happens with women too. I've seen women that I went to school with, braces, overweight, bad skin, and then you see them when they're like 34, 35, and you're like, oh my God, she's fucking beautiful. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know who that was. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you're that young and you haven't hit your how you put it, you're just literally, that's a small pocket in your life where you're young. Mm-hmm. You don't know who you are. You're not an adult yet. So when you're overweight and you just, I guess they call it the ugly duckling phase, that shit is real. Mm-hmm. I've seen some girls that I went to high school with and I was like, geez, man. Mm-hmm. They're like, or I'll get a message like, hey, Eddie, how's it going? And I'll be like, I don't know who this chick is.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh my God.
It's the girl you went to that sat in your second period.
Yeah. And then there's some girls that's been fine since high school. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say any names, but I'd like to see her again one day. I think she just turned 40 as well. That's super fine. Shout out to Ashley. But yeah, man, it's I don't ever think you should get in a position where you're saying where are the fat people, because when you go to other countries like maybe like a Japan or China, there's not very many obese people there.
Yeah, we had a a thing with the kids. It was like a wellness event, I guess you would call it. So we had 3 black doctors, and they were going up there, and they were just talking about just different things, talking about their journey to becoming a doctor, and then also talking about things that'll help us mentally. And a lot of it was centered around like, hey, make sure you're getting up and doing some exercise a few times a week, eating the right things, eating more. Make sure you have some vegetables in every meal. Those kind of things. These are things coming from a doctor. But those are, I forget where I was going with this, but essentially what I'm saying is those are the simple fundamentals that'll make you live longer. Absolutely. And these, like I said, these are things coming from a doctor. So these are the experts in that field of just living healthier lives. And I tend to lean on that. I don't tend to lean on the internet saying that we should be okay with certain things, because people are really going through it. Young people are having heart attacks and strokes and stuff like that. So I'm never going to be championing unhealthy lifestyles.
I would also say this too. There's certain situations that need more context. Like if you're a woman and you had a child or 2 or whatever you've done, that's gonna change. That'll change a woman's whole body chemistry. Mm-hmm. They gotta figure out who they are again. So if you're a woman that's had kids and it's been recent, don't beat yourself up because you look like that, because you bringing a child into this world. That's just literally fucking your whole body up. Mm-hmm. Like, there's women who were perfectly fine. Now they got a fucked up back. Mm-hmm. They feet all fucked up. Women's feet get bigger and shit. Mm-hmm. So my thing is this: when you are in that situation, you're gonna have to figure yourself out all over again. Mm-hmm. Just eat better, do better. But there are certain situations that do call for some lenience. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But outside of that, if you ain't had no kids, or you're able-bodied man or woman, you got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I'm not the picture of health, but I go to the gym multiple times a week, at least 3. Mm-hmm. I try to get 3. 4 is on a great week. Mm-hmm. 5 is like when I'm super locked in. Mm-hmm. But my objective is still to get my weight down and keep it there. Yeah. Damn it, I had another thought, but I think we could go ahead and move on. Mm-hmm. I think the people know. I think the fat people are tired of listening to us, Keith. They said, "I'm hungry. Just move on to the next topic."
The fat people are always tired.
Why? Sleep apnea? They said, "Man, this nigga Keith." Oh man, I remember 10 years ago. We were doing a job out in Barstow. It's when I first got my CDL. And normally they had me, because we were doing a job out there all week, and we were delivering dirt. Mm-hmm. That's before I was doing what I'm doing now. But we had like a roommate that we would have to be with in the hotel. We always got paired up with somebody. And I was always in there with my boy Pedro. Pedro was a light sleeper. And I was pretty light sleeping too. So it worked out. We always got great sleep. Mm-hmm. But one time Pedro couldn't make it. Mm-hmm. So they brought this only other black dude on the whole fleet. Yeah. Is this dude named Tyron, right? Mm-hmm. So we chopped it up a little bit. He seemed like a great guy. But I didn't know this nigga had a CPAP machine. Oh. So they brought this fucking nigga in my room. And he's like, "All right, man, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed." I was like, "All right, bro." And he put that mask on, and he like instantly died. It was the scariest shit ever. Like, he put it on, and he just like wasn't breathing, and then he went. I made a call to the fucking boss. I said, "Hey, you got to get me out of this room. I can't sleep in here." It's like, we're sorry, we can't get anything for the night. Like, you just got to find a way to sleep. Mm-hmm. So I went back to the room. At this time, it's probably like maybe 9:45, around 10. Mm-hmm. We got to be up early in the morning. And he's still doing that. I said, "Fuck this shit." So we had day cab trucks, not even sleepers, right? Mm-hmm. So I went down to the truck, and the truck was parked in the parking lot of the hotel. Mm-hmm. And I took my lunch pail and put it in the middle next to the shifter because it was a 10-speed truck. I put the lunch pail in the middle and I put my feet across. I went to sleep in the fucking truck.
Dang.
I had to go to bed in the truck because I couldn't take it. And I said, hey, get that guy out of this room or get me somewhere else. And they actually got me a room by myself. It was a little suite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
And then later I seen he was like, oh man, you must have got up early. I didn't even see you when I
No, nigga. I got out of there.
No, nigga, you died. I got the fuck out of there. I don't want to be a witness to a crime.
That's hilarious, bro.
Bruh, this dude sounded like Darth Vader with a CPAP machine. You know how some people say you sound like Darth Vader? That nigga sound like Darth Vader about to die on his last breath. I was like, this guy.
Funny,
if anybody has a friend or family member with a CPAP machine, it is the most horrifying fucking thing that you can witness. There was a woman saying something about her husband with a CPAP, and then he was like, when he would sleep, he would just be like, I'm like, bro,
they just on the verge of dying every breath, basically.
Like I would probably overreact. Like if I see somebody I care about and they sleeping, I just be like, wake your ass up, wake up.
Yeah, that stuff is scary, dog. That's
It was this video, before I move on, there's this video that I don't know, every blue moon I look for it just to laugh, but it's this black dude and he sleep, right? And he just like sleep. I don't think he has sleep apnea, but he just like, he sleep, and then they pour a little bit of water in his mouth when he sleep, and then he wake up, he like, that shit is hilarious. Oh, man. All right, switching gears. Campbell's Soup executive allegedly calls company products shit for poor people in secret recording. So basically, one of these executives got busted being an executive. That's what they do. They don't care about people. And it's quite obvious when they sell bullshit food. So I'm going to go ahead and run this recording and give you guys what he said. Let's see.
We have shit for f***ing poor people. Who buys our shit? I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the f*** in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it, look at me, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. We have shit.
He basically said it's bioengineered meat made in a 3D printer. Like, that's crazy. They don't give a fuck what they're feeding the people. And I think that there needs to be a revolt. There needs to be a bunch of people that say, hey, I don't want this in my house. And just recently on Thanksgiving, I seen a bunch of Del Monte products where they are improperly labeled. And they were trying to get cranberries, right? They were trying to get I think they were trying to get cranberries. No, not cranberry sauce. They were trying to get cranberries, in water. And when they open the can, it's just water in it, no cranberries.
Oh, dang.
Then there was somebody else that bought corn, and when they opened it up, it was beets inside of it. And this is all over TikTok. If you don't believe me, go to TikTok right now, put in Del Monte, and put in improper labels. So they've been fucking up because people are like going to the store to buy the products, and they're just all fucked up. It's like I don't know if they give a fuck or what, but anyways, Campbell's Soup. When I was a kid, it wasn't known for having processed meat in it. Like, those are real pieces of chicken. I don't understand it. Like, I just think that what's happening now is, especially at companies like McDonald's and things like that, they're just making things cheaper and cheaper, and they're charging more for it. And they're getting away with it because we're overly consuming products, and they know it. So they don't even have to respect. They'll tell you to your face, yeah, it's fake meat. Shut up and eat it. Yeah.
To me, the older I get and the more information I get, and it's not even an economic thing. It's just my age and wisdom. I have less and less empathy for conversations around canned food and fast food because
It's become a choice.
It's bad. Like however you slice it, like we can't complain about how the quality of McDonald's is bad or Burger King or Panda Express or whatever. It's
Niggas
all
in a can.
It's all bad food. Like anything that you can make that quickly is not going to be good for you. So I think I think this CEO is a terrible human being.
Absolutely.
But I also think that after, eating bad food does become a choice, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's not the same amount of effort, but the same store that you buy that Campbell's out of, or you buy that Top Ramen,
You
or
could have bought
whatever,
something healthy.
you could have bought something healthy with that. Even if you did want to eat that soup, the Campbell's soup or whatever, if you just made it, it's going to be 30 times, a million times healthier than that version that you just buy, out of a can and then just pour it in a pot and warm it up. Like if you just bought the chicken and you grilled it yourself, and you bought the whatever seasonings you got, or the beef stock or vegetable stock, whatever, and threw that in there, that's going to be much more healthier than just pouring it out of the freaking Campbell soup, can. So I think these conversations are great because it brings awareness to how terrible the food is.
Yeah.
But I think at this point in our lives as adults, we should know that there's bad stuff, dog.
Absolutely. We should know. I just think, unfortunately, Keith, I think we understand how people are. Also, I think people have a very weird concept of food. There was a person I used to work with. I'll keep them nameless. But she was like, my food is healthy. I make everything at home. So everything is healthy. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not what healthy means. How are you preparing the food? Like if you're frying, I remember she brought like enchiladas and cake that she had made at home and shit. I'm like, this shit is the same. It's just made at home. It doesn't make it any different.
Right.
So it's like the concept of food, like you can't fry chicken at home and then be like, this is a lot healthier than like going to KFC. It's like, it's fried, nigga. What are you talking about?
No, that's facts.
Yeah, we have to be more.
You can definitely make unhealthy food at home.
Absolutely. And I just think people have a weird concept. And on top of that, they don't know how to read labels. They don't know how to look for the sodium. They don't know how to look for the micronutrients, the macronutrients. They don't look at the fats, the carbs, the fats in these things. Like, it's all important. Because ultimately, all those numbers mean something. If you eat 8,000 milligrams of sodium, you might have a fucking stroke.
Right.
Like literally, your heart is going to palpitate so crazy. You might have a heart attack for eating 6,500 milligrams of sodium. You want to know what's crazy? Even if you're a healthy person, if you eat a meal that's very high in sodium, you can feel your heart rate speed up.
Yeah.
That's literally what a high sodium meal will do to anybody, right? But people don't realize that. They be like, oh, man, I think I got anxiety. No, nigga, you ate 4 pieces of chicken.
Yeah.
That's why your heart's speeding up like that.
Right.
So you have to understand what you're doing. Also, too, canned products. I don't have anything in a can. I don't have anything in a can. If I do get anything in a can, I get black beans, low sodium black beans in water.
Yeah.
Not even because they got like they have
the season them and stuff.
Yes, I don't get that. Just plain black beans in water with no oils in it. And I can eat the black beans like that. They taste perfectly fine. Right? That's the only thing I'll get in a can. Either the black beans or the pinto beans, same way, in water, low sodium.
That's good.
Outside of that, I don't want nothing else in a can. If you read the amount of sodium in the fucking beans, it's insane.
That's a lot. Man.
I remember I read the back of the can. It had 3.5 servings for 1 can of beans, right? And it was one of them. I think one of them was like 670 milligrams of sodium times 3.5. So you do the math on that. So I'll just do the basic math right now, just because people tend to not read the serving size. They just look at that.
Yeah, just buy it and eat the whole thing.
They eat the whole thing, be like, beans healthy. It's like,
nah,
nigga.
Beans healthy.
No,
Beans, a magical fruit.
Oh, no. What was it? Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat them, the more you toot. That was so immature.
That's a classic rap right there.
So 760 milligrams times 3.5. That's 2,600 milligrams of sodium in 1 can.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's one meal. That like 2,600 milligrams is what you like in a day. That's still a lot of sodium for the day, but like it's manageable. Especially if you drink a lot of water, you could flush out a lot of that salt. But the issue is people tend to not drink that much water, and then they eat a bunch of sodium. Here's the thing: if you go to Taco Bell, if you go to McDonald's for breakfast, right? They say you have 2 McMuffins, the 2 for $3, and you get a hash brown. One McMuffin. You know what? Fuck what I'm talking about. Let's just go look at the nutrition facts. So McDonald's. Hold on. I'm gonna show you right now. McDonald's McMuffin nutrition facts. So here it is. Okay, Egg McMuffin, approximately 290 to 304 calories. Okay, here's the stuff. So it says the sodium is 746 to 791 milligrams, right? That's for one. We typically eat 2 of those with hash browns, right? So if you take just basic math, 791 times 2, that's 1,500 milligrams of sodium. And then each hash brown is like 300. So plus 600. That's 2,100 milligrams of sodium in one meal. That's fucking nuts, dude.
That's a lot.
And that's just breakfast. Let's say for lunch you said you had you know what? I'm really hungry. Panda's down the street. Let me go to Panda. Oh man, we're talking.
That food is
brother.
From the chow mein to the rice to the orange chicken.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna have orange chest pains. Like, I would say that I'm just gonna throw a wild number out there because I know I'm correct. If you got 2,100 from McDonald's at freaking Panda, you're gonna have about 3,600 milligrams of sodium. So if you get a 3 entree,
and that's breakfast and lunch, and then by the time you get to dinner, if you eat out again, then you tripling up. So you probably hitting like 7,000.
So right now, with the math is 5,582 milligrams of sodium with 2 meals. And let's say for dinner, like, that was Chinese food. I'm already hungry. Let me see what's for dinner. You know what? I think it's Tuesday. No, I'm not even going to use Taco Tuesday. What's another popular restaurant spot for dinner that people go to?
People get wings.
Oh, you got wings?
Yeah, wings on like a...
So Wingstop? If you really want it, okay. Because this is how people eat for real. Like, this is not like, this is not fictional. Some people eat 3 times a day fast food every fucking meal.
Right.
So let's go to Wingstop. Wingstop meal nutrition facts. Your fingers popping. I heard that shit. God damn, Keith. All right. Nutrition allergen information. I think it's a good idea to go look at the nutrition facts of these restaurants because they go crazy. All right. Boneless wings. Serving size is 1 each. Oh, it's saying serving size 1 each. It's not even saying 90 calories per wing.
A serving at Wingstop is 1 wing?
They show it says serving size 1 each.
Dang.
So
that's how you know that the amount of calories and sodium and stuff in there is so crazy that to make it look decent, they just have to put 1 wing as a serving.
I'm going to fuck you up with this one. I'm just going to read this, right? So the atomic ones, the super hot, is 380 milligrams per wing.
God dang.
That's a lot for one
Most
wing.
Most people are getting like 8 of them.
They get like 8. So it says, let me go back. Let's see what's the lowest sodium one. The lowest one in sodium out of all the different wing variations is 260 milligrams of sodium, and that one is the garlic parmesan. Right? And that's 1 wing. 1 boneless wing, excuse me.
Yeah.
Now, classic wings.
Those are more, they got more sodium?
Those are less sodium.
Oh, less sodium.
Because the boneless wings, I think they're battered. But I think the classic wings, I don't know if they're battered, are they? Some are, some aren't.
I don't know.
I think those regular ones are not. But the sodium,
I think the classic might not have batter on there.
Yeah, so we're talking the Hawaiian. No, it's not the Hawaiian. Which one's the other one? Garlic Parmesan for the win. It's 75 milligrams, which is not terrible. That's for the classic wing, right? So if you got multiple 5, 6, 8, whatever, you're not going to be crazy with sodium.
Yeah.
You know, but this is just, and the fries, I can't even imagine the fries, dude. The fries
are really salty. Yeah.
They're not great. They're just like big soggy ass fries.
I love their fries.
You like the fries?
I love them for the first 8 minutes. Then after that, they get nasty.
Veggie sticks, blue cheese.
Last time I went to Wingstop, I got the wings. I got like 8 wings, and then I got some veggie sticks to go with my thing, just to try to cut back on the, amount of, starches and sodium and stuff like that.
I mean, if I'm at Wingstop and I'm eating unhealthy, I go all the way. I take it there. Fried corn. It doesn't show the fries for some reason. Oh no, I'm tripping. Yes, it does. Seasoned fries, regular. Seasoned fries, large. Which ones do you typically get, large or regular?
The large.
Okay, so let's go.
You gotta go with the large.
Let's go with the large then. Pause. All right. Fries. 18 is 9.37. God damn. Brother, it's gonna blow your mind.
What is it?
The large fry sodium is 1,060 sodium.
Yeah,
1,000.
you're knocking back them whole thing. So by the time you get to dinner, you might be at like 9 racks.
Oh my God.
Straight sodium.
It's at 55.82, so I'm gonna say if you eat like what I mentioned, you're gonna be at least around, let's just say 39. Let's lowball it, man. Let's say 39 plus 3,900. So for the day, you're at 9,482 milligrams of sodium.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Like, do you really think that you cannot sustain that? Especially you get older?
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to have fucking problems.
Swollen feet and whatnot.
Yeah, swollen feet. And
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah. But
That's over 3 times the recommended.
That's like a weekly amount, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So if you go, let's go Monday through Friday, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 1,000 by Friday, right? If you had 2,000 milligrams a day, right? And it's almost that in one day. So I would advise people to start cooking at home and then
Cook for yourself.
then change your seasonings. If you do buy salt, I tell people when you season your food too, don't season right by the meat. Put the seasoning, whatever you use, if it's a salt shaker or whatever, season from up high. So the salt has a chance to spread out evenly on the meat. Some people season right on it and they just spreading a bunch of fucking salt all over the meat. So that's bad. I'm giving you good advice, folks. Okay, when you're putting seasoning on your meat, pause, and you're putting seasoning on your meat, make sure you season from up high so it can travel and spread across it evenly. And then it'll actually taste like it's seasoned. It's not going to be bland. And just lightly season that shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's that. I think we've exhausted that. And that all came from Campbell soup.
Yeah, man.
That shit's full of fucking sodium anyways.
Right. That's death in a can.
Yeah.
Outside of the 3D meat.
Yeah. All right. Next, switching gears. More bullshit food. Cheetos and Doritos. Go naked with products free of artificial colors and flavors. I mean, this is a given, being as we spoke about how they're going to be getting away from food colorings and Red 40 and shit like that. I mean, come on. We knew this already, right? Some Cheetos and Doritos products will soon be available without bright artificial colors, but the same iconic flavors. PepsiCo Cheetos and Doritos parent company announcing a reinvention of the two iconic snacks on Thursday with the launch of new Simply NKD Doritos and Cheeto flavors, additions to the two brands' already beloved lineup of snacks. The NKD, which is abbreviated, I guess was an acronym for naked. I guess products will be available four flavors: Doritos Simply Naked, Nacho Cheese, Doritos Simply Naked Cool Ranch, Cheetos Simply Naked Puffs, Cheetos Simply Naked Flamin' Hot. Right? It's not that it's simply naked; it's just simply free of bullshit colors. Right. You know what's funny? They could actually still keep the same colors, but the issue is they're too cheap. There are actual natural colors that are derived from food that they could use, but they don't want to spend the money to do it. And what I've noticed, there's some companies that have already made the switch, but because I read labels, I caught it. So for example, they have a Minute Maid zero sugar, right? And over the years, I read it, I turned it around, and I was like, this shit's got a red 40 in it. Like, come on, bro. So it went to a time where I was like, I'm not drinking that shit because red 40 is not good for your brain. So I stopped drinking that. I just stuck to water, maybe every blue moon have a Diet Coke, which is Diet Coke is garbage, but it doesn't have the sugar and the bullshit in it. So basically, I went to Target probably over a year ago, and I turned it around, and it went from saying red 40, it says grape skin now. It says color.
Color with grape skin.
Yeah, color derived from grape skin. So they took the skin of a grape, and they literally squeezed the coloring from it and used it. Like now, if you look at certain drinks that are orange, like for example, vitamin water. When I turn vitamin water around and I read it now, instead of saying like blah, blah, blah for color and it's like some chemical, now it says beta carotene. So beta carotene is derived from carrots. So they could take the coloring, the natural coloring from a carrot, compress it, and use it as a natural dye. And that's great. It's real food. That's what they should have been doing the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, nigga, don't give me some flaming hot. Like, and especially when we were kids, we were drinking Kool-Aid. Like, all those colors didn't come from nothing.
Right. Yeah.
They probably was using the same shit we used to spray on our T-shirts to make the Kool-Aid. It's like they was using the same shit we use to make designs on our T-shirts and spraying it in the goddamn Kool-Aid. That's terrible.
Screen printer ink in there.
Yeah, it's bullshit food. So I mean, congratulations for not killing us, I guess. But like, it's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum, man. These companies now, there's too much information. In the 90s, they could have put battery acid in the food, and we would have been like, I don't know, I like the new recipe, man.
Yeah,
you know, because the general public was not even distracted. There was probably like 2 people back in the day that were like, hey, don't eat this stuff. It's got poison in it. And they might have been like scientists or something. And they was going on strike in front of the Doritos company. And the Doritos didn't care because these 2 guys that knew, like, they didn't get any attention. Can you imagine it's like the year 1996 and you got these 2 guys that are scientists that say, don't drink this. It's bad for your brain. And they just look crazy. And then the CEO's like, just let them talk. It's fine. Nobody's going to believe them.
Yeah.
And then those 2 guys are still alive like, we told you.
Yeah.
We told you not to drink the goddamn Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what more to say about it other than what you said. I do think that, like I said before, like anything that we're purchasing in a liquor store or that we're not producing ourselves or cooking ourselves, this is kind of what it looks like. I think that we put a lot of faith into, stuff that is sitting on a shelf in a grocery store, when we shouldn't. But no. I think it's a step in the right direction, getting rid of the food dyes. But that doesn't necessarily make it healthy.
No, it doesn't.
It just makes it slightly healthier, I guess, that there's no dye in there. But
it's not bioengineered. Yeah. That's a great step.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm also like a sucker for these sort of.
I'm a sucker for cornrows and manicured toes.
I'm a sucker for no dye and relevant dye. So I'm gonna try it just to see. And I would be curious too. I'm sure there's some YouTubers out there that are doing like the side by side, because I think there's something psychologically with the visual. If you eating that Dorito that is orange versus that one that's kind of like a tan or a brown, I'm sure people are like psychologically thinking like, oh, this one tastes worse than this one because because it doesn't have that vibrant color to it. But yeah, I would be interested to see. I'm gonna go try them out.
I'm a sucker for no dyes in my Doritos. All right,
that's funny.
Let's go. We can wrap it up with this next one, actually.
All right.
Switching gears, the Golden State Killer. This is a very crazy story, so we're gonna close it out with this one because this is a lot of wow. The Golden State Killer was found, and I guess the common denominator was his micro penis. So this is definitely something. It's a crazy story. Here it is.
He had a micro penis. We're talking the size of a dime, the length of the tip of your pinky finger. And now the Golden State Killer, who literally terrorized California in the 1970s and 80s, has the DA writing a book telling about the fact that his micro penis is part of the reason his victims were able to identify him. The district attorney of Sacramento County, Thien Ho, has written a new book titled The People versus the Golden State Killer, Joseph D'Angelo. And a huge focus of his book is the fact that he had a micro penis, and the book goes into detail on just how small this was. Law enforcement had to obtain evidence that corroborated the victim's statements, and in all of those statements, the women talked about the fact that this man had a micro penis, the size of the tip of your pinky finger. So he said police actually had to photograph this for evidence. So they got down on their knees, tried to locate it, and he says they got frustrated, threw their hands up in the air and said, "There's nothing there." They had to make him spread his legs and pull the skin back in order to see it. And he said once they got the photo, it was smaller than the circumference of a dime and the length was equal to the tip of your pinky finger. He forced himself on over 50 victims and took the lives of 13 of them. This all took place in the 1970s and 80s, but he actually wasn't apprehended and arrested until 2018 thanks to DNA changes. But his victims knew exactly what he was working with, and they were able to corroborate all of this by getting that photo once he was arrested.
Bro, that is wild. First of all, I'm going to say this, right? And hear me out. This will make sense. Fellas, you got to learn how to eat some pussy, man. You got to learn. This could have all been avoided. This guy knew his dick was little, and this could have been avoided if he had just developed another skill. But he got to be out here trying to keep killing women just because he can't be comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
You know, that's terrible. And imagine this motherfucker trying to force himself on you, and during the middle of it, women see him like, "What you gonna do with that, man? Get away from me." This motherfucker, man. That is insane. Yeah. This motherfucker's dick was so little that the cops got frustrated. Can you imagine being an officer? Like, just show us, man. What are you hiding from us? And he's like, "I'm not hiding it. It's right in place, in plain sight."
Yeah.
It's like, "No, man. Show us, man. Stop trying to tuck it in."
Doctors for sure thought he was a female when he was in the womb.
That motherfucker got a vagina.
They was doing an ultrasound like, "Yeah, it's a girl."
Oh, no, man.
That is crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know how this is going to sound terrible.
I know where you're going.
Where am I going, Keith?
I'm not saying it.
Like, how do you even have any victims? How the fuck do you have a victim?
Oh, dang.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if I wasn't a teacher, I would be going in right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I'll say it all. And, you know,
it's funny content in there for sure.
Jeez, this motherfucker, I don't even know how. Oh my goodness, man. And my thing is in his case, I don't care about shaming this guy. He was a monster. He's a monster. He forced himself on women in addition to, taking the lives of innocent women. I genuinely believe his motivation was his insecurities.
We were just having that conversation earlier about like different women's experiences and like not feeling like they had the full sexual experience. And yeah, I could imagine I don't know what his upbringing was like. He probably was always a little off. But if he did try to have an intimate moment with that woman and he whipped that out, that had to be a sad experience.
I'll say this. I don't know if women are as cruel as people would make them sexually. Like, I think that if you a guy like that got that and you was like a monster at head, I think you would still get a reputation like that dude know what he doing.
He's a munch.
You'll get a reputation as a munch. Mm-hmm. Something.
Yeah.
In life, you gotta.
I don't even know. I just think there's a like the I get that, like if his head game is crazy, I guess. That sounds crazy to say. But I think aesthetically, like I think women are probably like part of it is just how it all looks.
Yeah.
You know, when ain't no clothes on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could just imagine like you could probably be good at, you know, some fellatio, but
I think because I think at some point women are gonna be like, you know what, I might as well just be with another girl at this point. I might as well.
We down here scissoring.
Yeah, yeah. I could have just went down to Target and found one of those strong, manly women down there. Jeez, man.
Yeah, man.
This is one of the most wild things. Did you see that document? Not that it's like a mini documentary on Hitler. Did you see that? Oh, dude. I guess they mentioned in there that they took his DNA, and in his DNA they found things consistent. It's like a rare condition that's consistent with having
this day and age. I'm just playing.
Oh, okay. All right. I think it's time to wrap this thing up. But they basically found a bloodstained cloth. They found a bloodstained cloth. They ran the DNA on it, and within that DNA, it was consistent with a rare condition affiliated with the micropenis. This is a true story. This is not podcast fodder, I guess you could say. This is like real stuff. So that's why he was such a terrible person too. I don't get it, man. You know what? And once again, I don't care. It's the fucking dictator, a dictator with no dick. So fuck him.
How are you a dictator with no? Yeah, with the micro, you can't be dictating with the micro.
Man, I think that I'm telling you right now, I think that they might need to create something like a BBL for men, just to prevent these things from happening.
Yeah, serial killers and dictators.
Yeah, just to empower men to have something down there, because this is a dangerous person.
Yeah,
this is the dude that went on a killing spree in the 70s and the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he ain't had no dick, man.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine him going to prison and it's like, what you in here for?
He could, yeah. And the crazy part of, never mind.
If you can't find a way to filter it, don't say it. Yeah, just don't. Just leave it the fuck alone. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad they are doing a lot more I think there's more government resources to do a lot more DNA testing on cold cases. So there was a thing that I recently posted in the local Kern County News about how they were using new DNA tests to solve, like, you know, some case from like 2010. So like you were saying, there's a lot more technology around to catch some of these criminals. So yeah, it's different time. So
can you imagine if this whole case took place in like the 20s? He was like, right now he's on the loose. We're trying to figure out the dickless bandit.
The dickless.
Been running around here for quite some time. A lot of the victims have reported he had a micro penis. These little kids selling papers on the side of the street. Dickless bandit, read all about it.
Extra, read all about it.
Extra, dickless bandit.
Yeah.
And then the dickless bandit, he give himself up because he get mad. He's like, I've got a dick. Don't say that about me. I've got one. Dickless bandit, read all about it. Smaller than a pencil. It's the size of this eraser. That's not true. That's not true at all.
That was comedy.
Oh man.
Dang.
Oh man. Where we at, man?
It's crazy. That's crazy too, because imagine him being in this era, because there's not, like, you don't really know how you stack up against the world until, one, you see a porn, or two, that's
not a good reference. Because the people in those videos are not.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, but go ahead.
What I'm saying is, like, you just living your life, and the only person you might have seen naked was like you, or maybe your pops, like when he walking out when he walking to the whatever. So your only reference is just seeing yourself in the mirror when you taking a shower. So he just going his whole life. He probably thinking that's normal.
Damn.
Yeah. And then, one day he tried to get intimate with a girl and she like, what's going on down there?
Yeah,
You got a clit.
Damn. Man, and then they make a rap song about him. Ain't nobody fucking with my clit. Clit. Ain't nobody fresher than my motherfucking clit.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Serial killers are so crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, that'd be crazy. You know what? That's gonna be the new. That's gonna be the new slur for for people that's like they acting out in public like fuck you, motherfucker. You want to talk shit? I'll be like, you must be a serial killer. You must be a serial killer.
Dang, that's funny.
Oh man,
you must got a micro.
My
microaggressions.
Man. Oh man. I think I don't really have anything else to offer this conversation. I was just thinking of more senseless humor to expand upon. But I think my tank is empty now. Man. But I do think that we're gonna need. At first, I said we shouldn't be doing any more surgeries. But I honestly do believe there are certain people that do need them for confidence purposes. I'm going to be honest, and I'm just saying that in general, whether it's men or women. I think that there are certain people where their genetics have like put them in a situation where they're below average so much. It's almost like the woman, doesn't matter how much she works out, how many squats she does, she has like a completely flat behind where it's completely flat. It's not her fault. She didn't do anything wrong. It's just her genetics. It's just how she is. Her grandma's grandma, they all got flat asses. That's just a part of their DNA, right? And she's tired of it. She wants to do something about it. I think BBLs are for women like that. And I think that it's okay for a woman to like literally get a BBL to be more confident when they're in that situation. But I hate to say this, but there's so many women out there who are sexually attractive that got nice asses that go get a BBL for no reason. Just stop.
Yeah.
And women don't care about what I have to say. They're like, I don't care what you think. And I'm thinking like, I think you look good without anything.
Right.
Even girls with little booties are great. Mm-hmm. That means it's natural. I'm fine with that. But I think that those surgeries should be almost like for people who are like way below average. If you got they should have like a micro penis surgery that'll like go from like having you being micro to like being like at least like, I don't know, 3-4 inches. Because that's big to a person with a micro. 4 inches is huge to that person like that. Like when a woman insults you, it'll be more or less like, that's why you got a little dick. And he's like, it's all good, dog. It's all good. I already know,
At least it ain't micro.
Yeah, it went from micro to that. Jeez. Because
there are some people. Simone Biles just got a breast augmentation.
Oh, really?
And I don't remember exactly what she said, but I think it was, and it wasn't. It ain't no, not no. She didn't get no double D's. I think she just got enough to.
Her body can't support those.
Yeah, I think she just got enough to make her feel a little bit more feminine, and a lot of women do that. Like lot
that's
of
fine.
flat chested women, they just get enough to just kind of fill out I know. I think Kelly Rowland was a person like that, and she was more so saying like, it just makes my clothes fit better. Like when you buy certain things and you kind of flat chested, it it doesn't fit as well. So
yeah, and like. It may sound hypocritical, but like we talk about like, some people getting way too many surgeries, but I feel like people in those situations are best suited for those things if they like it. It makes more sense to me. Mm-hmm. But I've seen some women who are above average, not only the way they look, but the way their body is. Like they go to the gym, they caked up, they eat good, and they go get a BBL. Mm-hmm. It's like, I just think it's the internet.
Yeah.
It's an internet thing. That's what it is. It is the fucking internet. But if they let men get these DBLs, I feel bad for women. At that point, it's gonna go from one extreme to the next. Because the micro dude, he gonna be 12 inches now.
Dang.
And that's and then at some point, it's gonna be so many motherfuckers with 12 inches that women are gonna be like, we're not having sex anymore. We're just done. We're so done.
They're gonna be boycotting.
They're gonna be boycotting sex. I'm so tired of being stretched out. It's gonna be bad.
This is a complete side note. I think it was Holly. I don't know, one of those Playboy, one of Hugh Hefner's. You know, he had the three girls.
Yeah.
One of the girls, and she was just talking about how he liked his women, she was like, hey, he liked them a specific way, and he liked us, like, basically she was saying our genitals or genitalia to look a certain way.
Really?
Yeah, like she was like, basically he was like very specific on how he wanted his women to look and how we should look down there, and not in a landscaping situation, more so like genetically how they looked.
All right.
She was like, just looking back on it, I just thought it was really weird, and I kind of like sat there for a minute, and I was like, dog, you guys were young, so I'm not gonna make it sound like you was fully developed adults. I'm sure in retrospect, a lot of that stuff was probably like extremely weird to you, but like, don't approach it like you weren't an adult, making these decisions. You were definitely a young adult, but you were an adult. Like, he wasn't forcing you to do, said things. So I just don't like, I think it's great to speak about it from a learning experience. Right. Hey, I was so young then, and maybe I regret this or I regret that, or, there was just so much I didn't know about myself and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be in life and all these things. But I don't like the idea of like me being a consenting adult to being on these TV shows, signing these contracts to be in these shows, signing these contracts to live, and, actually saying like agreeing to do all these things. And then you just want to go on this like bashing spree, years later.
What was the girl? One of the girls on there, I think her name was Kendra. Her name was Kendra. She was dating that black dude that
football player,
Hank Basket.
Yeah,
yeah. But she said she wasn't doing them with him with Hugh Hefner, and then later on she admitted she was.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, bro, you can't be mad at the girl, man. She was hanging out with Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner wasn't just some typical old sugar daddy. He was fucking.
He was a guy.
He was fucking, and he was using so much Viagra that he was just walking around like his whole body was kept together by Viagra.
Yeah.
So that motherfucker didn't have nothing on under that robe, man. He's ready to fuck at all times.
Yeah.
That guy, jeez. Yeah. All right.
I can say it's weird because I didn't agree to go live with the man.
Yeah. But they was living in that motherfucker.
And having sex with that old man.
Yeah. You know how many old balls they had to see? He had balls from the Great Depression. They was in there.
Yeah.
Jeez. And what's crazy is the Playboy Mansion. The Lakers was going there after they won those championships. He was inviting the Lakers, and the Lakers at the Playboy Mansion hanging out.
Yeah.
That was just considered like a normal thing.
Yeah, you hear. I mean, those parties. Some of those parties is legendary. Yeah, there's celebrities, comedians, all kind of people talking about those parties.
The other day I was listening to Byron Scott's Fast Break podcast. Shout out to Byron Scott. It's a really good podcast. But Byron Scott was talking to Robert Horry, and Robert Horry mentioned like he thought he was about to hook up with Selma Hayek, right? Mm-hmm. So Robert Horry said like he's like, at the time, I seen Selma Hayek around. I was like, man, she fine, man. So he said, I guess she had a screening for a movie, and he ended up getting a call, and he answered it, and he's like, hi, Robert, I just want to say hi, I like the way you play or whatever. And he's like, who is this? He's like, it's Selma Hayek. And he's like, this ain't no motherfucking Selma, get off my phone. And she's like, it's really me, it's Selma Hayek, it's me. And he's like, oh, hey, what's going on? She's like, yeah, I want you to come to my show, and because she was doing like a Broadway thing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, he said, yeah, definitely, I'll be. So is this like, so you like invite me? This like a date, huh? It's like a date? She's like, yeah. She's like, and then so-and-so be there. And it was like her boyfriend at the time. And he was like, God damn it. Like, so I guess he still went there.
Yeah.
And they were doing a screening for, it wasn't Broadway, they were doing a screening for a movie she had out. I think it was Frida. And he said she was sitting next to him and she had a big old slit in her dress. And he was still like, man, this is crazy. So it was a scene, I guess, where she was naked on screen and she's sitting right next to him. And he's like, man, I'm not supposed to be here. So that was hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, shout out to Robert Orr. Yep, I think I sent you that clip about what Shaq did to Chick Hearn.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see it? Oh my God. Well, that's for another day. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. If you guys have made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you for listening. But not only that, to make it to 400 episodes, some of you guys have listened to like 80 or 90% of these podcasts that we've been doing since 2018.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been one hell of a ride, man. And
yeah, man,
our lives have changed. A lot of things have changed, man.
Yeah.
So just, I thank you. We thank you infinite a number of times for taking time out of your day every week to chime in and listen to the content.
And during this last like week or so to get to 400, we just eclipsed 400 subscribers on YouTube. So
yeah,
shout out to y'all that are subscribing on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, 422 subscribers. You may think that's not a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, 422 people. You know, we haven't even been on YouTube that long.
Right.
We're very young on YouTube. Most of it's mainly audio based stuff. Either way, man, we appreciate every single one of you guys. Enjoy this content, man. I mean, you're a part of history, man. Especially depending on where we go. You've made it to 400 episodes of a podcast. Most podcasts do not have 400 episodes.
Yeah,
most don't. I wonder. I'm willing to say that at least 80% of podcasts do not have 40 episodes. 400.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. So look here, man. Once again, if you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K. Thinks.
We're out of here.
Peace.